Hello to everyone watching on the Applied Linguistics blog. My name is Joe, and I'm a final year English language and media student. And today I'm joined by Daniel and Milo. Thank you very much for joining me, guys.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you.
Now, we're here to talk today about the Applied Linguistics Journal and the Applied Linguistics Society. And why don't we start with the journal? You guys both have roles in the journal, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
You guys do.
We've both actually been on the journal for 2 years now. Back in 2020, back in March, the previous editor handed it over to me. Just out of interest, he set up a meeting, and everyone who was interested attended. And then there we just kind of decided on who was going to take over that year. And then it was actually a few months later when you joined, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah, well, I think there was like that big meeting and then the pandemic hit then, really, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So it kind of like ruined things briefly, but then we got back up and running online, really, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice. It does seem like the sort of thing that can be done through the pandemic still being online. Was that the case this year?
Yeah, certainly. Well, the last 2 years, to be honest, we did the entire thing online in both years. And yeah, it was doable. It took a bit of figuring out at first, obviously, because we're back last year we were all trying to get our heads around Zoom and the other technology which we've all become so familiar with over the last 2 years. But yeah, and at the end of the day, it was actually easier than I thought it would be, and we managed to get everything sorted to a high standard.
Now, for those who might not be aware, because I wasn't really aware about the journal until maybe 1 or 2 years ago, but what exactly is the Applied Linguistics Journal?
Well, the Applied Linguistics Journal is all about publishing the best work of students in our department, and that's the Department of Applied Linguistics, if you've got any other students watching. So we're all about language science, and even more so about language science which we can apply to everyday situations. And that's what assignments in our department are generally about. And the journal was set up, I think, 4 years ago now, just as a means of sharing some of that high quality work that students produce. So I think our criteria has always been any essays which you get like a 70 or above, so a first class mark. We try to publish them just so we can make people aware of what people are doing in our department and the high standard of work that gets produced.
Oh, that's brilliant. And is it just students who contribute?
Yeah, it has been so far. We were thinking about getting some of the postgrad students more involved in this past year, but that didn't really come to fruition. But maybe that's something we could do going forward. So it's mostly undergraduate students, sometimes some master's students as well. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So there is still room for development within the journal.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something that would be really nice to see going forward.
I'll ask you both quickly, what were your personal favourite contributions to the journal that you've ever seen? We'll start with you, Dan.
Yeah, that was a difficult question, I think, but I think my favourite one actually was the first essay of the first edition way back in 2018, I think it was. And that one was the dialectology one, Why Study Dialect by James Barry. I really liked that one, I think, because I love dialectology, and it's so comprehensive and so detailed and so broad, but he somehow managed to like get it all tied up into one essay. It's brilliant.
I'm guessing there was no quick answer of why we should study dialect. I'm guessing it was a bit more...
Yeah, it was a massive question, but somehow he managed to put it all into those small word count,
And for an undergrad student, I'm assuming it was an undergrad who wrote that essay.
Yeah, I think he was a third year. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. Yeah.
And for an undergraduate student to be tackling big questions like that and be scoring so highly with it, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Milo, have you got a favourite contribution?
Oh, that's difficult. There's been some excellent work over the years. We haven't had one this year, but in the past few years we've had fantastic essays about aphasia. Where people suffer an injury to the head or to the brain, and their language is affected. So we had some excellent contributions to do with that over the years. This year I've been really impressed by the standard of work though as well. We've had a lot more about sociolinguistics than we've had in the past this year. we had an excellent essay from Charles Gardner about the relationship between studying dialect and technology, and I thought that was a really interesting essay. He makes some points which you wouldn't have really thought about, I think.
Oh, that's really cool, because sociolinguistics is one of my absolute favourite modules I've ever taken. I got one of my best ever grades on an essay for that one. I was glad to see it being represented in the journal as well. Now, my last question about the journal: what are your favourite things about working on it for you guys personally?
I think for me, it's just the kind of the sense of achievement you get when it all starts to come together. You know, we work hard to get all these essays in, proofread them all, get them to look nice, get a nice format going, so we can have a journal which looks really cohesive and attractive. And both last year and this year, that sense of achievement when you get it up there on the web once it's been published and it's looking great. Yeah, I think that sense of achievement is really nice, because it's something that oh, actually I've done this, yeah. So probably for me it's that kind of that sense of finishing it off and being proud of it.
The sense of having it done and out the way as well. I'm sure it takes a lot of help.
I do enjoy doing it as well. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. But it's really nice to see it, the completed product.
And Dan, anything for you?
Yeah, well, I'm the marketing and media rep, and that involves mainly social media. So I think what's been fun about that is sort of building up a network of academics, students, and this is sort of worldwide. We have like followers from America, like all over the world. So I think, I think that's the best bit is seeing that the essays from our department in Swansea are being read by people all over the world.
Oh, well, that's really cool. I didn't know that was an international outreach.
Yeah.
How many different countries do you reckon are involved in reading the journal?
Oh gosh.
Contributing to it in the future,
I don't think I could put a number on it, but there's a lot, yeah.
And there's a lot of range as well, like like Dan was saying, we've got readers in America, in North America and South America. We've had readers in Asia, in Oceania. There's a big range there, obviously in Europe as well, because we've got our kind of networks, like Dan was just saying. But I think that kind of spread is something which I was really pleased to see.
Oh wow, that's really cool. And I mean, I don't know if either of you are involved in making the website for the journal, but I've seen that website and it's really well made and really professional.
That's Richard Reed. That's his work.
Of course it is.
He's actually, I think, just beginning a career as like a web designer. So
wow.
I think that's some professional work we've got there.
I mean, he's done an excellent job with the journal website, and everyone on the blog watching can see a link to that under this video as well. Okay, so I'd like to talk about the Applied Linguistics Society as well. Now, I know, Dan, you've got more of an administrative role on that. What exactly is your role with the society?
Yeah, well, my formal role, you could say, I'm the treasurer, but we sort of work as a team. I mean, there's about 4 or 5 of us, and we have obviously these roles, but it's a lot more of a team effort. We work together to just get stuff done.
And Milo, your role on the society is just member?
I'm just a member, yes. I haven't got any committee roles.
Okay. Were there some issues through the pandemic with the society?
Yeah, well, interestingly, we were quite inactive before the pandemic, actually, and it was during the pandemic that we sort of got up and running a bit more. I think it was important because of the restrictions, and obviously we weren't on campus, that we lost this sort of department sort of community feel, like when you're in the corridor and you just see someone, or you go to the library and things like that.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to step into that role and be a sort of network for the students to actually keep the relationships up and going, and the communication between staff and students as well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's brilliant that all it took was a pandemic to get things back again with the society. I mean, in terms of things after the pandemic, are there many plans for events in the future?
Yeah, well, they're not set in stone quite yet, but we had a meeting a few weeks ago and we have some good ideas. We wanted to do a sort of virtual catch-up morning possibly every Wednesday. This would be quite informal, maybe like a coffee morning type thing. And this would be for like all years staff members as well, and they could just come and catch up and just have a chat. Really, it's like that thing of seeing people in the corridor, like I just mentioned, you know. Last term we also did Appling Tuesdays. They were weekly. Yeah, and we want to continue doing that. Obviously that was a collaboration with the department then, but I think this would be more of our own thing, and maybe less frequent than every week, but maybe fortnightly or monthly. And these would be academic talks where, say, MA or PhD students or anyone really could just come and share the research that they're doing, and yeah, just have a chat really. And
I've seen some of the titles of those Appling talks before, and it's been like lecturers from Swansea, PhD students and stuff coming and talking about just any linguistic topic they like, isn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. So we didn't want it to be too formal, but we wanted it to be academic as well and useful to everyone who's there. And that's the academic side of it, but obviously there's the social side to it as well, which I would say has been a bit more hindered because of the pandemic, because obviously we can't meet up and see each other and things like that. But we want to do sort of termly mixers, probably online, hopefully in person. We don't know when the restrictions are going to ease. I mean, we just don't know really, do we?
Exactly. I mean, that's the issue like academic societies always have, because everyone thinks of a university society and they think of a sports team going out and getting drunk every week. But academic ones have their own reputation of being boring, and there's no like social side to it. From what I've heard from the Applied Linguistics Society, there used to be social events regularly all throughout the year, and I'm assuming that's the sort of thing you're going to want to get back to when in-person meetings are allowed again.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I'll ask you the same question as before. What's been your favourite thing about working with the Society this year?
I think definitely the academic talks, because even before the pandemic, I'm not sure if there was much of an opportunity for, say, I'm in my second year or like first years to talk to people in their third years or MA students or PhD students and see the department in that sort of range. So I think the Appling Tuesdays, which we did, was a really good way to just talk to lecturers as well, you know, just outside of the context of lectures or seminars, and just talk to people in a different context.
Yeah, and I remember being in first year and thinking it was weird having a conversation with a lecturer outside the lecture and realising, oh wait, you're an actual person as well.
Yeah.
And Milo, have you got any fond memories of being a member of the society?
I really liked some of the Appling Tuesday talks as well, actually. There were some interesting things there, especially when we had people talking about like employability, or when I think I went and talked about the journal once, and that was quite fun. Just to kind of spread the word about that a bit more and drum up a bit of interest. Yeah, so it was nice just to have that kind of community feel, which, like Dan was saying, we've kind of lost a bit over these past few years with the pandemic and that.
I mean, for the society, I suppose the best online presence you have is on the SU website. Is that right? You've got that Applied Linguistics section on the SU website where they've got all the societies listed. Are there any other websites or social media accounts?
Yeah, well, we have the page there, which people can go to and become a member or join the team if they wanted to. But we have a Twitter account run by Kaylee Perkins, sorry. And we have some Facebook pages as well, I believe. So I think a lot of the stuff we do is online social media stuff, and obviously there was the Appling Tuesdays, which were through the through Canvas. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Well, I mean, that is everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's been really interesting. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. It's been nice to have a chat about the journal and the society, and hopefully spread the word a bit so we can keep them both going forward.
Wonderful. And as I said, all the links to social media accounts and websites will be below this video on the blog. Other than that, thanks for watching and goodbye.